Montana free, Pat Riley free, Buster Douglas free, Super Monaco GP free, or Collins free. What Nintendo?
Over 35 years ago, Sega had this little thing, like a little rivalry against Nintendo, where they would have the slogan saying Genesis does what Nintendo don't, obviously referencing their new console, the Sega Genesis. Well, as the years go on, Mario and Sonic's rivalry will kind of end because Mario would grow to huge proportions for Nintendo and become one of the more iconic franchises in gaming, where Sonic still to this day has trouble finding its footing. Well, that is until recently. Sonic Frontiers was decently received, Sonic Mania was beloved, and Sonic X Shadow Generations is looked at as one of the best Sonic games ever made. So Sonic has been doing pretty good, and in the meantime he's been pretty much friends with Mario, appearing in things like Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games like 7 times, and even being a guest star in Nintendo's Smash Brothers since Smash Bros. Brawl on the Wii. And it's no secret that Sega knows that Sonic is doing really well, because they just put out a brand new trailer for Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, and it did the unthinkable.
We all know that kart racing game. It's great, we don't need to show it to you. But what if you can blast through and race on a whole nother level? What if you could warp across different dimensions, fully customize and build out your machine, and compete head-to-head across different platforms? Or what if you want to roam around on the open road?
Well, that one was kind of on the head. Alright, but clearly they must just been joking. Maybe it was just a coincidence. Oh. Yeah, Sega is actually very confident in their racing game. I mean, very confident. They just straight up called out Mario Kart World to the T. Like, you would thought they'd been kind of scared of something like this year, you know, releasing their racing game against the kart racer being Mario Kart, but they show absolutely no remorse and almost like full confidence and cockiness when it comes to actually competing head-to-head against Mario Kart World. This is actually pretty funny and also kind of fun. I like this side of Sega, and I kind of wish Nintendo had more of this in them, you know what I mean? It just kind of adds some friendly competition and banter, and honestly, it probably is all it is, just some friendly competition and banter. Some people are going to take it super serious because they're weird, but like, yeah, at the same time, this is pretty cool. I like this. Now, I'm actually very curious to see where this game goes, because so far, the early reviews, with only like 30 reviews so far, Sonic Racing Cross World actually has 83 on Metacritic, which is pretty good for a Sonic racing game. Mario Kart World, for instance, had an 86, so just 3 points higher. And overall, its user score was pretty low compared to normal Mario Kart user scores. I mean, it was down to a 7 out of 10. So people think there's a chance that it could go higher with more scores coming in the next couple of days, and also the user score coming in probably relatively soon. The game comes out next week, so we'll be getting a lot of information on how good this game actually is once the general public's able to get their hands on it. But so far, it's looking pretty daggone good for Sega. Now, yes, I will be playing Sonic Racing Cross World. In fact, I actually grew up playing nothing but Sonic games along with Mario. There was a time period where I even liked Sonic more than Mario when I was really little. So, like, I played every single mainline and spin-off Sonic game to date, including the past racing games. And I've never felt like they've been up to par with Mario Kart whatsoever. But this one could be different, because you guys pretty much know how I feel about Mario Kart World. It's mid. There is nothing about Mario Kart World that makes me feel like it's a bad game. I just don't feel like it's a great game. I feel like it's a game that has lots of possibilities and potential to be one of the best racing games of all time, but it falls short because it just misses on a lot of those opportunities. So I'm actually very excited this time to play Sonic Racing Cross World to see how it actually compares to Mario Kart World. Maybe I actually like it more. I didn't play any of the test demos, so I can't really speak for that, but I am going to be playing the full game and seeing how it compares. Now, both games have kind of some issues when it comes to the prices. Mario Kart World was $80, where Sonic Cross Worlds is $70, but with all the DLC, you're going to be spending over like $40 on just all the DLC packs. But I kind of like it to the extent of, hey, at least they're adding content to the game. Even though it's announced before the game even comes out, at least we have a roadmap of some sort to see how they're going to keep the game alive, because Mario Kart World, there's nothing. I think a lot of people are even more attentive, because I know a lot of people don't care about IGN reviews, but IGN gave Mario Kart World an 8 out of 10, whereas Sonic Racing Cross Worlds got a 9 out of 10. So people are like, hold on. Now there's also this debate about that trailer that they showed, which is supposedly Mario Kart World footage, which isn't. I mean, if you really look at the footage, you can tell this definitely isn't, and if anything, looks almost AI generated. So a lot of people are like, oh, come on, Sega, really AI? Because I guess, I don't know, is there like a law where they technically can't use blur footage of Mario Kart World? But yeah, I think this one's even funnier than normal because they're not just saying, hey, play our game over Mario Kart. No, they're like literally bashing Mario Kart World for one of its biggest issues, it being like this boring open world drive. They're like, who wants to drive on the open world? And they have this camper just driving down this road all alone. I think it's freaking hilarious because it's literally Mario Kart World to a T. I can feel the Nintendo boys in the comments already. Now, I was around the same ballpark as the general audience score. I was right around a 7 to a 7.5 for Mario Kart World personally, but it's interesting because I feel like it could be so much higher, like I said. If they just tweaked a couple of things, this could easily be a 9 out of 10 game. When we were using the open world just to find P-switch missions and not actually race, I actually had a blast just driving around, putting in tons of hours into that mode, and not too many racing games have an additional mode like that for a single player to just mess around in. But my real issues came from those intermissions, where Nintendo tried to force us to race in that open world, which didn't really connect with me and a lot of players, where a lot of the time we're just driving straight with very little obstacles in the way. But even though Sonic Racing Cross Worlds doesn't have intermissions or, you know, kind of open world driving and more focus on the actual 3-lap tracks, I will say, Mario Kart World's at its best with its 3-lap tracks. I don't think anything is going to come close, because that new trick system with the wall and rail riding, dude, it's genuinely one of the greatest things Nintendo has ever come up with, and I really wish they focused on that and just had a lot more tracks than just their base 30. But there's just something about having tons of just 3-lap tracks for you to choose from, just like classic Mario Kart, and able to play those online as well without having to worry about giant open world intermissions. It's actually kind of exciting, and I'm really looking forward to having just a, you know, simple kart racer at its core. And the online already looks more interesting, at least from what I've seen with the playtest. It looked like there was like a little ranking system as well for online, where Mario Kart World has nothing of the such. Like, there's not really much reason to play online right now at all. So honestly, with the early reviews and from the trailers and gameplay that I've seen so far, I'm actually kind of excited about Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. Look, I actually was one of the few people that loved Mario Kart World's roster and all those enemy characters, but I'm looking at Sonic Racing Cross Worlds and their roster, yeah, they're cooking. Like, it's even been confirmed that they're having Pac-Man and Mega Man as characters in this roster. Like, they're literally having fun without Mario. I'm liking everything I'm seeing so far from Sonic, but honestly, only time will tell if Sega's actually going to be able to pull it off and actually make a better racing game than the kart racer that started it all, and see if their trash talk is actually going to be backed up by the gameplay. And who knows, maybe Sonic Cross World could actually have the best racer of the year in a year with a brand new Mario Kart game. Who am I kidding? Kerbo got it in the bag.